Hey folks, welcome to my video. My name's Allie and I lost 170 pounds through a ketogenic diet. Just so you can see some proof, here are my old pictures here. I started keto in 2015 and I lost the weight in 2 years, and in 2017 I started maintenance mode. That's also when I started making these videos. I try and just help those people who want to lose weight through keto to better their health and to reach their lifestyle goals. Every year I make one of these, how to do keto videos, but this one is especially important because I, like many other people across the world, have gained a little bit of weight due to COVID, less moving around, more sitting around and eating. And so that's kind of changed my perspectives on some of these tips that I want to share with you today. I spent so many years in maintenance mode that I just had it down. Well, once I had to jump back on the wagon seriously, I realized that I needed to rethink some things. So the goal for this video is that you guys can identify and implement the 8 tips or hacks that I would recommend to follow a ketogenic diet for weight loss. So let's get started with our 8 hacks. The first hack when it comes to ketogenic weight loss is you need to understand why keto works differently than other diets that just maybe ask you to eat less calories overall. Keto works for many reasons. The top reason is that you are in a state of ketosis because you are eating so few carbs. Your body goes from running on sugar to running on fat. And running on fat is great because if you're eating less overall, your body is already in the mode to eat the fat from itself. So when you do get to the point where you're counting calories and consuming less energy than you burn, you're going to eat the fat from your body and you're going to lose weight. Eating less carbs also means that you are avoiding that blood sugar roller coaster. So if you've ever gone out to Olive Garden with your family, like many of us have, hey, and you get a big old bowl of that fettuccine Alfredo, and then 2 hours later, you want to snack on something, that's because your blood sugar went straight through the roof, and now it's crashing, and now you want to eat again. But when you're on keto, because you're avoiding those carbs and that blood sugar spike, you're going to avoid the fall. So you're not going to have those cravings right after you eat. Another reason keto works so well is that you are eating foods that keep you fuller for longer. Studies have shown that eating fats and especially proteins keep a person feeling fuller for longer. So the fuller you feel, the less you're going to want to eat. And this is just my opinion, but I think keto works because we still get to eat really good food. I mean, when you first start out, all you hear about is the bacon and the eggs and all the delicious meats you can eat. And that's great. It helps people change their tastes, so they don't feel like they're being deprived of foods that they might miss on other diets. Keto also works, especially in the very beginning, for people who aren't counting very much calories or macronutrients because they are naturally cutting out calories through cutting out all the forms of carbohydrates, aka the sugars and the starches. So just think, if you eat a sandwich but you get it without the bun or the bread, you're naturally saving like 200 calories. So naturally cutting out calories by cutting out carbs helps people lose weight without even really having to think about it, which is my favorite kind of weight loss. It's a very passive form of weight loss. The second hack that I believe is really going to help people on their weight loss journeys, technically for any weight loss diet, not just keto, is that they need to get into this mental space of weight loss mode. So I mentioned at the beginning, I've gained a few pounds because of COVID and just not doing much for an entire year. And through trying to lose that weight again in this series, if you'd like to check it out, I realized that I wasn't really motivated to lose weight and I wasn't in the headspace for so long. Now it's the new year, I'm motivated, I'm ready to finally get these last like 5 to 10 pounds off. I'm going to do it. And nobody's stopping me, not even me. So you have to do that too. You have to get into this mode where your goal, your priority, your focus is getting to your goal. It's that weight loss. It's what you want to do once you meet your goal. So you have to get yourself motivated and you have to stay motivated too. Honestly, if you lose motivation, I don't think you'll meet your goals, That's why so many people fall off the wagon when they're in maintenance mode because they're there, there's nothing really to look forward to, and then the weight starts to creep back up again. So I believe that you need to have your long-term overarching main goals. And I'm not going to judge what your goals are. They can be whatever you want them to be. Don't let people judge your goals, okay? My goal back when I wanted to lose weight back in 2014, 2015, I wanted to not be passed over for jobs because I had lots of student loans. And I had read studies where overweight people were passed up in favor of skinny people for jobs. And that was a big motivator for me because I didn't want to start my career after college and not being able to find a job. That would be the worst. Oh my gosh. A lot of people's motivation is their kids. They want to see their children grow up. They want to play with their kids. They want to see grandbabies grow up. I ain't got no kids. I ain't even got a pet. So I'm not in that group of people. But again, I'm not judging your motivations. If you want to look good for your 10-year high school reunion, use that. If you want to have a different experience with online dating, yeah, I understand that one. You know, so whether it's more social and cosmetic motivations or health-related motivations or family motivations, use it all, whatever gets you to your goal. But then you also need to have those daily motivations. And for me, when I started out keto, that daily motivation was looking around at all the people around me and they were like eating cake and things after dinner. And I was like, I'm so strong, I don't need cake. You know, not that I was really judging them, but it made me feel good. It made me feel proud. So that daily pride that I had in my own weight loss journey kept me going, and that helped me get to my goal. But your daily motivations, again, could be anything. Daily weigh-ins, weekly weigh-ins, going to bed without feeling stuffed. I mean, you know, I used to do that too before keto. And now when I go to bed and I've had a really good day of really clean eating, I feel great, and I take pride in that. So make sure that your reasons for following this diet are your priority. I'm gonna say it, it's gonna be hard to lose weight when you're living with other people because you have to include them and they're gonna include you in their plans. So if you're living with other people, you might have to have one cabinet that's just for you so you don't have to look at their food, or one shelf in the fridge. But whatever you do, you have to keep motivated. My third tip is that you should definitely focus on carbs when you're starting a ketogenic diet for weight loss. Now, I've made several videos about the importance of calories. Yes, totally believe in calories. Calories in, calories out. They matter definitely. I agree. But when you're starting out on keto and you're cutting out all the stuff you've been accustomed to eating for your entire life, because we're Americans and we like sugar and everything apparently, it's gonna be real tough to focus not only on carbs, but also calories and protein and fats and all that. So I suggest focusing just on carbs. Within the first month or two, you know, give yourself some time to get used to the diet. I would say stick below 20 net grams of carbs per day. Why net grams? Because you know what? Most of those grams of carbs should come from vegetables. And I just feel like the more vegetables you eat, the fuller you're gonna feel without gaining too much weight or calories or anything like that. You're not gonna get fat off of vegetables, okay? That's just me. Some people go gross carbs, but for me, I prefer to eat more vegetables, so I always suggest net carbs. And I say that you should definitely focus on the carbs first because it's gonna teach you what you can eat and what you should avoid. So I link in the description of all my videos this food Bible by Dr. Eric Westman. It's called Page 4. If you Google it, Page 4, Dr. Eric Westman, it'll come up if my link's not working for some reason in the future. But that is the thing that I printed out when I first started keto, and I took it with me to the grocery store and I shopped according to what I can and can't eat. And if you're just focusing on carbs, you're gonna focus on the foods that you can't eat, so you get those out of your life, and the foods that you can eat. Focusing on carbs in the beginning is also going to help you change your tastes. So you're gonna get used to eating your, bunless burgers or your sandwiches that are actually salads because now you're eating them with a fork. And I'm a proponent of saying do as much as you can without going overboard. So go as hard as you can, but don't go too much or else you might fail. It might become unsustainable. So if you begin and you focus on carbs, hopefully that won't happen. Focusing on the carbs and making sure that you're eating a very low amount, like 20 net grams of carbs per day, will ensure that you are in a state of ketosis. And again, being in ketosis is great for weight loss for all the reasons we mentioned before. And also, I think one of the great benefits of focusing on carbs when you're first starting out on a ketogenic diet is that it's going to teach you when you're actually hungry or when you're just bored hungry or craving hungry. Head hunger, stomach hunger. So just take this scenario. It's about 9 o'clock at night. You have 300 calories left or so for your daily calorie deficit limit. And your daily carb limit is 20 net grams of carbs. So instead of going to the kitchen and grabbing a handful maybe of 200, 300 calories of nuts, which might run you 4 to 5 to 6 grams of carbs, net carbs. You say, well, I don't really have the carb count for that. The other options are boiled eggs that I have left over in the fridge or some canned tuna in the cabinet, but I'm not really feeling those, so I'm just not gonna eat anything. Boom, you've done it. You've distinguished between the head hunger and the stomach hunger, the cravings and the actual hungry feeling, all because you focus on those carbs rather than calories. Because sometimes when I focus on calories over carbs, I'm like, oh, I can go eat some nice snacks and I'll only hit 25 net grams of carbs, but I'll still be slightly under my calorie limit, even though I'm not hungry. So be very strict with that carb count in the beginning. That's my suggestion. So my fourth hack for ketogenic weight loss is to avoid bread substitutes and sweet substitutes. Personally, I've never bought a bread substitute. I've never made my own keto bread. I've never bought keto-friendly wraps or buns or bread, loaves, or anything like that. I've never made cloud bread. If, for example, a low-carb wrap is 100 calories and 2 net grams of carbs, my thinking is, well, I can just forego the wrap, not have the wrap, use a fork as my food vessel instead of the wrap, turn my sandwich into a salad, and then consume those 100 calories and 2 grams of carbs and food that I would actually taste more and enjoy more. Personally, that's how I like to approach things. But I do know that lots of bread substitutes are popular with ketogenic dieters. But again, I say go as hard as you can without going overboard. So if you can get rid of breads and bread substitutes without missing them, great. And keto-friendly sweet treats. And I'm not gonna lie, I have made my fair share of keto dessert videos, but guess what? I haven't made a dessert video in like a whole year or two. It's been a long time because when those sweet treats are sitting in my fridge after I make these videos, I binge on them. I eat them up and then I go way over carbs and calories even though they're low carb sweet treats. In fact, when I started keto, I had no idea that people subtracted out sugar alcohols from their net carb counts. So I would read about people eating like these Russell Stover sugar-free candies or the Lily's sugar-free chocolate made with stevia. And I'll be honest, I actually feel really lucky that I didn't know that because I was able to change my tastes. I stopped craving those types of foods. And I think it kept my weight loss really steady because I wasn't foregoing more nutritionally dense foods for those sweet treats. So I highly suggest keeping keto baking to the holidays. Of course, I think you should treat yourself. They're called treats for a reason. We're not supposed to have them every day, but holidays are fine, you know, and then once people eat them up, you don't make it again for a while. But again, in moderation, not every day because they are treats. My fifth tip for ketogenic weight loss is that you should focus on changing your tastes. And this kind of goes with the avoiding sweet treats hack for number 4. So when it comes to like a daily treat, something very small, something that's not going to kill your calories or carbs for the day, again, I would suggest avoiding the sugar-frees, the stuff you pick up in the store, and I would actually get the non-keto foods. So that'll help you change your tastes. So instead of getting the sweet tasting sugar-frees, I would suggest getting the 90% dark chocolates. Or instead of those really keto ice creams that they have out now, eat a couple tablespoons of peanut butter. Why do I suggest this? Well, the 90% dark chocolate and the regular old peanut butter are less sweet overall, which means once you get accustomed to eating those, you won't even crave the super sweetened, artificially sweetened desserts anymore. And you've changed your taste. Now, 90% dark chocolate is gonna taste like such a treat. And one last thing to remember about artificially sweetened treats. A lot of them will have sweeteners that still affect your blood sugar. A lot of them will have stevia, and then the next ingredient is maltitol, or maltitol will be the first ingredient. And maltitol is really bad for you. Maltitol will raise your blood sugar just like regular sugar, basically. So, know what you're eating, know what you're consuming, eat it in moderation. My sixth keto hack is once you get the hang of being in ketosis, of lowering those carbs for the first month or two, then you do need to focus on calories and protein. Now notice, did I mention the fat macro? Nope. No, she didn't. No ma'am. Don't even worry about the fat macro. It's irrelevant. Remember, for ketogenic weight loss, you have 3 rules. You need to focus on keeping those carbs low, 20 net grams or less per day. You need to stay at a calorie deficit. That's where the weight loss actually comes from. You need to consume less than you burn because you want to start consuming the fat from your body. There is no fat goal. Your calorie limit tells you how much fat you can eat. Eating more fat is not going to get you to weight loss, okay? It's eating less calories. But you also need to make sure that you are eating adequate protein. About 1.5 years into my ketogenic weight loss, I noticed my hair was thinning and my nails became so brittle. And it took another 1.5 years or so for that to kind of even out. I wasn't getting protein. You have to make sure you're eating protein. So I say, forget the fat. It's not a goal. You don't want to eat all this fat. You want to consume the fat from your body, but you do want to make sure you're eating enough protein. And as always, I will link my favorite ketogenic calculator down below. Sometimes people tell me the link never works. So if you just Google and curl, keto calculator, it'll come up on Google. I do not get any money for linking that. It's just the one that was shared with me years ago, and it's the one I lost weight on, and so it's the one I recommend. My 7th hack for keto weight loss is to celebrate your milestones. In the early days, I would make a Facebook post celebrating, 10 pounds lost with a selfie, and you could see the changes. So another milestone, it might be to go shopping, set aside $100 to go get a few new things, or a purse. It doesn't have to be clothes that you wear. I'm into purses. I was talking to some friends a couple weeks ago, and they mentioned that I had been doing keto for a while, and I was like, yeah, in 2022, it'll be 7 years. And so I was thinking, man, I haven't had a fruit, like a real fruit, in 7 years. So I take pride in that. Some people think that's crazy. But, I eat many more vegetables than I ever have in my whole life, thanks to keto. So just those little milestones. I haven't had bread or potato intentionally in 7 years. I think I accidentally ate a piece of potato in a curry that I ordered one time, but I'm not counting it. It wasn't my fault. So celebrate those little milestones. Try and recognize them when they come up. And then our 8th hack, the final hack for ketogenic weight loss, is that you need to be ready to adapt and grow. And what's so great about keto is that it is so malleable to your lifestyle, to your desires, to your priorities, and to your goals. When I first started keto, I was eating 2 to 3 meals a day. Then once I hit maintenance mode, I went into intermittent fasting, and now I'm back to 2 meals a day. I've done diet soda. I've skipped diet soda. I've done Franken sweet treats. Now I try not to do really any sweet treats. So you're just going to adapt to what you feel is right at the time. And that's what's great about keto, because it's a ketogenic diet if you follow those 3 rules. 20 net grams of carbs or less per day to make sure that you are in a state of ketosis. For weight loss, you need to be below a calorie deficit limit, and you need to make sure that you are hitting a protein goal. As long as you follow those rules, there are so many ways to follow a ketogenic weight loss diet or a maintenance diet. Well, folks, that's about it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, found it informative and useful, and maybe slightly entertaining. Let me know. If you have a question, please leave me a comment. I'm going to try and get to all of the comments that I get on this video. It's my New Year's video, and I want to clarify and help as many people as I can. If you're interested in my weight loss goals at the moment, I have been doing this Lose Weight With Me series. The holidays really put a wrench in things. Again, I lost motivation, so my priority was having fun with my boyfriend and my family and just enjoying life. My priority was not weight loss. But now it's the new year, the holidays are over, I can get back on track. So if you'd like to follow my weight loss journey, check out this series. I post a video every week. The days change when they get posted. I do my best. If you enjoyed the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. That would help me out so much. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, I will link all of that down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Best wishes for a happy 2022. Best wishes in your weight loss journey. My name's Allie. Have a good one. Bye.